Hey, good morning, my friends. I'm Live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. Suddenly, quite a bit to talk about in weather, in that we're seeing long-term a gradual pattern change that will be a shocker. It's not a big pattern change, but going from quite a bit warmer than normal to slightly cooler than normal, as we get out toward after Thanksgiving, it's going to be a shock. It's going to be like, wow, this is really cold. And it's going to be close to be about what we should be for this time of the year. And we have some snow to talk about tomorrow. Our first accumulating snow on the grass. Southwest lower, the main target, and north central interior areas of northern lower Michigan. So let's get into that. The roads are warm, so when the snow is coming down heaviest for an hour or two, you might get a slush buildup on some of the roads, and we know how some Michigan drivers do on the first snow. They're horrendous, right? Even though you've done it all your life every year. But as soon as that snow would stop, then we would be talking about rapid melting. Hey, Robbie Guizdal is at deer camp in Lake City. Good luck there. Good morning, Cheryl Brennan and Donna Wodke. Thanks for watching the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. And let's try a Polish name this morning, Eric Zabinski. Good morning to you. So currently, temperatures aren't too terribly cool. They're still warmer than the average high temperature for today. That puts it in perspective. If you think today feels cool, this is warmer than it should make it to in the warmest part of the afternoon. Here's current radar. And today is rain shower activity kind of expanding somewhat. I'll show that to you on radar forecast next. But here you can see the showers moving into the southwestern part of the state. Kathleen checking in from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I do believe so. So that will all shift toward the northeast. So that's where we go to the models. Remember, model is what I call the weather fantasy land. It takes equations that have been developed over the last 40 or 50 years, and it tries to make a forecast. And it's not just extrapolation, folks. This is an important point on weather meteorological modeling, and I hope I don't go off on a tangent on you. But remember, these models are dynamic models. So this isn't just simply, here's a line of thunderstorms that's moved this far in 3 hours, and let's move it this far in 3 hours. These models know how to weaken storms, strengthen storms, increase coverage. They're dynamic. They're big models. AI has been the buzzword, artificial intelligence, and we've had AI in meteorology for 30 years. And I will tell you, it has done what you think AI will do. It has reduced the number of meteorologists needed to cover an area all the time, like weather is in a forecast. So I can forewarn you that once AI creeps into your field, it will reduce the amount of people needed. So now we go to the model that we like the best. This is what we call a mesoscale model, a smaller high resolution model. So as we go through the day, noon, 1, 2, 3, it just basically gets showery everywhere. And this model wants to try to indicate maybe a wet flake of snow around Gaylord or Grayling. Wouldn't disagree, but I don't think it would be really likely today. Now tonight we go to 2 in the morning, 3, 4, 5. The area I would target for snowfall would be the southwest corner. Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, and away from Lake Michigan. Note how the model, with its high resolution and with the fact that it gets surface lake temperatures imported all the time now, it shows the warmth off of Lake Michigan keeping the rain. And so, yes, the shoreline areas will stay rain, while inland areas get a couple of hour burst of wet snow. Roads are warm, but it could come down hard enough that they would stick while melting. And as we go through the day tomorrow, that swings south, and then as soon as it comes to an end, everything melts away. So this is a first snow for, let's call it, the southwest quarter. And, you know, there at Thursday morning, Ann Arbor and Detroit might have it cold enough aloft for some wet snow to make it down. And then it swings around and we get into Friday, and we carry up with longer range models after that. Oh, I wanted to show you this. So, you know, the big thing always from you, and I get this, the big thing is how much snow and exactly where. So how much snow? So in a case like this, I have to be part scientist, part psychologist, because it's a melting snow. So it's not really an exact amount ever, because it's piling up on the grass and melting as it does so. So in this case, to make it easy for you, I use what's called the snow cover forecast, the snow depth forecast, not the actual snowfall forecast, because these models will crank out, 6 inches of snowfall. But that's at a 10-to-1 ratio. This will probably be at like a 6 to 8-to-1 ratio, which would only mean about 4 inches, and half of that will melt, which will be 2 inches. So I give you the snow cover because I think it's a better way for me to show you accurately what's going to go on. So this is what we're going to look at, is the snow cover forecast off of that same high resolution model. Let's see, we got some people. I was coming there for Thanksgiving from Washington State, as we already have snow here. I'm seeing it there too. Yes, Washington State getting hammered. Hey, good morning, Nick Schweitzer. So snowfall forecast by 9 a.m. I would call it a 1 to 3 inch snow around Grand Rapids, or maybe south of Grand Rapids, through the Kalamazoo area, that region there. Not within 10 miles of Lake Michigan, but inland. Maybe a little bit of snow on the grass in northern lower Michigan too. And then notice we go to 4 and 5 and 6 in the afternoon. The snow just continues to shrink and then is almost gone. Adam Routier maybe, Wayne County, probably just in the air in Wayne County. Would be too warm. Nick Schweitzer sending galas to the stores this morning. What about those pink ladies? Those are good. That's my new favorite one. I think it's taken over from Honeycrisp because it's crisper. A little more tart too, I think. All right, so shot of snow tomorrow, southwest corner, north interior areas, snowflakes, Ann Arbor, Detroit, maybe Flint, probably not Saginaw Bay City. Here you see it rotating around. Then we go into Friday and we have what we meteorologists call cyclonic curvature. See the black lines curved around the storm off to the east? That keeps the spotty showers and lake effect rain showers going all across lower Michigan. Not all day, but certainly a very wet scenario for a lot of places. And it lasts into Saturday before it breaks down too. So we're going to get some lake effect moisture, and we desperately need it going into winter. All right, now let's start to look toward Thanksgiving. And again, I go to scientist, part psychologist. Right now, actually, what I'm seeing is nothing that looks too terrible for travel at Thanksgiving. I will say this. Over the last 35 years as a professional, if you call what I do a professional, some don't, Thanksgiving week and the week after is a very changeable weather time in the Great Lakes. So the forecast can change a lot from what I show you now going out. I'm pretty confident that cold air can't sneak in and we turn into a major snowstorm from Thanksgiving and before. After that, it's really too far out because it's a pattern change time of year. But we will look, okay? And we'll see the trend as we go through the next 7 days. So here's our storm system. You know all about that. That shifts off and we dry out by Saturday, and we probably on most of Sunday dry. This one shows maybe some showers coming back in on the warm side. You do notice that the cold side of the frontal boundaries now has the snow behind it. So now we're at Tuesday and we're at Wednesday. And this is at Wednesday, and there doesn't appear to be any significant storm system around. This model has grabbed on to a colder trend, and much of the models have grabbed onto a colder trend, but the lakes are still going to be very warm and moderate us to temperatures in the 30s and 40s. And now here's Thanksgiving morning and afternoon. Does not appear to be anything major. It would be a lake effect situation, but I don't think it's a big lake effect situation at all. And then we go out to Friday, Black Friday, and there's a storm forming off to the west. So that's probably something that's here on the weekend after Thanksgiving. All right, so now what I have for you are the high temperatures. And again, I want credit for the fact that I don't sugarcoat it for you. I don't make it simple for you. I give you the guts. So when we're going to look out in the future, we're going to use what's called the ensemble mode of a model. So we like the European model out, 7, 8, 9, 10 days out. But we don't like the deterministic, the main first run. It can be loopy at 8, 9, 10 days out. We like 50 tweaks of that model all averaged together to give us kind of a trend. And then we also compare it to the US model in its ensemble mode, and I think 50 tweaks or so on that. But right now what you're getting is a stable long-range forecast that will show you cooler to colder temperatures on the way, however you want to call it. So today we're in the 40s. Tomorrow we're in the 40s, some highs in the upper 30s, and you could see how it would be very hard for snow to stick around with coldest temperatures in the upper 30s. Then Friday we're back to the 40s, and Saturday we're in the upper 40s, and that's warm for this time of year. And Sunday we're in the upper 40s, and Monday a lot of places in the upper 40s. And then everything kind of wants to show starting to ooze that colder air to our north and west into the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. Tuesday in the low 40s, Wednesday low 40s south, 30s north. Thanksgiving highs around 40 in a lot of places, so you don't have many major travel problems with temperature of 40 degrees. Up in the northern half of the state and the UP, maybe highs in the 30s. Friday, ooze down a few more degrees into the upper 30s. Now Saturday in the low 30s, Sunday in the low 30s. Let's watch that, because if there's a storm system at the same time as that, we could have an accumulating snow band across the area. And now we're into December 4th, and the 50 iterations of this model want to say that colder air is going to start to sneak in. And again, I wouldn't call it extremely cold. I would call, highs in the low to mid 30s in early December, probably just 2 degrees colder than normal. But it's going to feel like a shock, because it looks like we've been warmer than normal since about late August. So we kind of have a distorted perspective, but a lot of weather to come. Now, here's the deal. I get 2 weeks of vacation coming up on Monday, so you might have to fend for yourself. And of course, Tom the Gemitter will help you stay updated on the weather. But for now, we'll watch the snow in the southwest corner of the state tomorrow morning. Remember, there are going to be some people that have never driven on snow since last year. Shouldn't be a major problem, but you know how it goes the first time every year. And then we'll get into the weekend pretty good. And right now, the first half of Thanksgiving holiday travel looks pretty good. We got to hold off on the second half. Hey, thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. We had quite a crowd this morning. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great Wednesday. Bye.